Allison's here. It looks like we're ready to go. So I'll grab the judge and we'll get started.
Okay, thank you.
Well, if Donaldson's here, I'm supposed to be here.
Huh?
Is it? I got a status conference.
A status conference.
Or am I confused?
Well,
Tammy,
I don't have it on my.
The status conference wouldn't need to be on the record.
Oh, all right. It varies from county to county. All right, then. See you guys. I'm gone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, good morning. This is People versus Dana Miller, and it is file 21151300OM, and Mr. Donaldson is here for the people, and Ms. Miller is here in pro per, and this is the date for sentencing. There's no sentencing report that's been provided, before I sentence you, Ms. Miller, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I think I'm all set.
Okay, I've got a couple questions for you.
Okay.
I know you were talking about moving. Has that happened, or are you still living at the same address?
We are living at the same address currently. We are waiting on the FAA to finalize so consumers can put our power in, and then we will be moving.
Okay. Have you taken any precautionary steps to prevent the dog from acting out?
Yep. So he has an electric fence, a shock collar. He's also on a lead. He never goes outside without me with him. And then we also have a privacy fence that we are in the process of putting up as well.
Okay.
And then I've talked to various vets and trainers also. So we're working with him that way also.
Okay. All right. So then, Mr. Donaldson, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of the people?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, the conviction in this case is allowing a dog to bite passerby. In this case, it was people walking out on the street, and the dog got loose, and Miss Miller was unable to prevent the dog from biting the complainant. Fortunately, there was no, from what I can tell, no real injury because the gentleman had a coat on that prevented any punctures. And also of concern, apparently the dog is bitten a couple times before that. And and the defendant was aware of that. Apparently she's taken some measures to try to assure that that doesn't happen. And so given all that, I am going to impose a fine of, and I should mention the prosecutor in their pretrial memo indicated that they had no objections to fines and costs only in this case. I assume if there were concerns about the animal not being properly confined or otherwise, the prosecutor would bring a forfeiture action, but I'm not aware of that. So anyhow, the fine is going to be $500. Cost is $100. There's a $75 Crime Victims' Rights Fund fee and a $50 judicial system fee. You can get that paid by contacting the clerk's office, and I'll give you a number here for Leelanau County. That is 231-256-8250. All right, we're all set for this morning, so feel free to sign off at this time.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. All right, let's go to the next file then. Mr. Keys, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Mr. Razvi, are you ready to proceed on this plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Just so that the court is aware, Mr. Keys nor I received notice of this plea for this morning. I happened just to check the 86th District Court website calendar by chance and saw it. The good thing about Zoom, I was able to contact Mr. Keys early this morning. He is prepared to move forward. I do not have the file in front of me, but he does wish to have this case resolved. There is a plea offer from memory that is to plead to attempted child abuse, 4th degree. And I believe there's language referring to support by the people for continued counseling, family support program, and reunification being the goal. My client is prepared to waive his trial rights and move forward with the plea.
All right, well, we'll have to check into why neither of you received notice. So, but I'm glad you were able to be here anyhow. So, Mr. Donaldson, is that a correct statement of the plea agreement?
It is.
Right. You know, give me a minute here. I'm having some technical issues.
Let's see.
doesn't want to reconnect. Can you print the complaint for me, please?
Mhm.
All right, so Mr. Keys, is that correct? You want to plead guilty to the reduced charge of attempted child abuse, 4th degree?
That is correct.
Other than the offer that's been stated on the record, is there anything else that's been promised to you, or have you been threatened, forced, or coerced in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will have a conviction for attempted child abuse, 4th degree, and that carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail?
Yes.
Your Honor, the attempt, I believe, would reduce to 1 year offense to a 6 month.
Okay, so it's actually a 6 month offense. I'm sorry. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Has Mr. Rasby answered all of your questions to your satisfaction?
Yes, he has.
I need to go over your trial rights with you and make sure you understand those before I'm able to accept a plea, so please listen carefully. You have the right to be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and you have the right to a jury trial to make that determination. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
You also have the right to have the witnesses against you appear at trial, to cross-examine those witnesses, and to present your own evidence and witnesses, and the court would order those witnesses to appear if need be. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
In addition, you have the right to testify at a trial, or if you choose, to remain silent, and that silence could not be used against you in any way. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
And finally, by pleading guilty, you give up the right to appeal that you would have if you went to trial, and any appeal would be by leave, not by right, meaning it would be up to the appeals court whether to even hear your case. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
So keeping in mind all those trial rights you'll be giving up by pleading guilty, is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
All right, so the complaint alleges that on March 25th, you were at an address in Elmwood Township and Leelanau County, and that you were with a child at the time. Is that true?
Yeah, both of my kids.
Okay. And how old are the children?
11 and soon to be 8.
Okay. And did you commit some act or do something that posed an unreasonable risk of harm of physical injury to at least one of the children?
Yes. I sprayed him with the fire extinguisher.
Okay. And I take it that the child probably reacted very negatively to that. They didn't care for that.
No.
And so I guess, Mr. Donaldson, Mr. Rasby, are you satisfied the elements of a child abuse 4th degree have been established so that I can take the plea to the reduced charge?
Yes, Your Honor. The spraying of a fire extinguisher, it's for a purpose other than putting out a fire, does place someone at an unreasonable risk of harm. So I agree.
Likewise, Your Honor.
Okay. And just to be clear, you weren't trying to put out a fire when you did that. This was some kind of an attempt to, I guess, punish the child or something.
Yes, I was not putting out a fire. I was trying to, make a point. And,
It was a form of punishment.
yes.
Okay. All right, then, to the charge of attempted child abuse, 4th degree, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, I'll accept your plea. I find it's voluntary, accurate, and understanding. I'll need to set this for sentencing at a later date. And Ms. Odom, you want to work with Mr. Rasby on that?
Mm-hmm. Does July 2nd at 9 work?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll be back on that date, and I'll need to get a pre-sentence investigation before that. So, Mr. Keys, if you could please call our probation office at 922-6899. They will interview you and gather more information about the case so I can make a decision about what an appropriate sentence would be, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right, well, thank you, and we're all set for this morning, unless there's anything else, Mr. Rasby or Mr. Donaldson?
Nothing, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, I don't believe I have anything else. Thank you. Everyone have a nice weekend.
Okay, you too, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're adjourned until the 9:45 bond hearing on Mikovits.